Now we're welcoming Paul Darwin from Skipton Building Society. Paul, thank you for taking the time to sit and talk to me. Exhibitions such as this, what is the advantage of the face-to-face interaction that you're getting here?
I think there are several benefits really. There's the housing and mortgages is still about people, and it's great to actually see so many people here today. And for me, the face-to-face interaction about seeing the whites of the eyes and the emotion and the body language is all part of the buzz about being in sales and being in mortgages, to be honest.
And so why do you feel then the mutuals have taken a larger share of the market in recent years?
I think there are several reasons for that. The first one is since the credit crunch, a lot of the major banks have been focusing on deleveraging, capital adequacy, and as a consequence of that, repairing their balance sheet, which, if they were doing any lending, has been at lower LTV. And as a consequence of that, I think that's created an opportunity which the mutuals have been able to capitalise on, because for one, they're quite active in their local communities. They know their customers, and as a consequence they've been prepared to lend at higher LTV to those customers in those geographical locations. I think we also know that the housing market needs higher LTV lending and first-time buyers to make it a market that actually operates and is fully functional. And with that gap between the lower LTV lending and the aspirations of the first-time buyer, there has still been a demand there, but I don't think there's been an appetite to fulfil that. We've seen first-time buyers actually proportionately getting older, which I think is a consequence of having to save a larger deposit, because house prices are, we all know it's a pretty expensive thing to do. But mutuals have been able to offer a high LTV proposition, and they've capitalised on that opportunity.
Now, at the recent Building Societies Association conference, it discussed the need for innovation in the market. Do you feel that building societies need to innovate with products and technology in order to remain competitive with the banks, or not?
I think we've always been innovative, to be honest, in the fact that if you go back to the sort of mutual ethos of creating value for money savings products and good value mortgage products, that in itself I think was the embryonic innovation to kick the whole movement off. I think there is a danger that you could become almost too cutting edge, and there's a drawback to being that, because let's not forget, we want our customers to be able to understand easily the product that they're buying. It's also got to be easy to administer, as well as easy for a broker or an advisor to actually explain. So I think the very fact that we've been around for a long time, ourselves over 160 years, there's actually value and merit in doing well what you've always done. And as a consequence of that, I think we've actually been not only innovative, but also stuck to some of those traditional values which people love and still want.
So with your experience in the industry, what advice would you give advisors in order to adapt to the new regulatory landscape?
I must admit, I find it pretty daunting if I was a broker at this point in time, knowing that there are so many things going on and lenders doing things in different ways. I think the simple piece of advice that I would give to any advisor is continue to operate such that the interests of the customer is central to everything that you do.
So are you concerned that lenders may have gone a bit too far with their expenditure checks?
I think without doubt on a piece of regulation, and let's face it, it's been the single biggest piece of regulation to hit the mortgage market for 10 years, there will be a bedding in period. And I think the fact that we know the regulator has been very much on an outcomes focus, it's left lenders in a situation where each one has probably had a different interpretation of what affordability and what expenditure looks like, and as a consequence of that, I think that brokers using different lenders will find that their experiences are different. But one of the benefits I think of the new regulation is that not only customers but lenders and brokers are actually seeing things from a broader perspective, and I think that's actually good, because we're looking at a broader horizon. We're actually looking at stress testing about affordability over a longer period of time. We're actually looking at consequences of lending into retirement, about interest-only practices and repayment strategies. So all of that to me adds up to better customer outcomes.
Okay, well thank you very much for joining us. Thanks for taking the time, and enjoy the rest of the expo.
Yeah.
Thank you.